Okay, again, let's take a look at another sketch that the student had. I think it was, oh, this icon right here with a drop and then something underneath it. It turned into another drop of water with some variations in it, but let's go and see what they did with it. Initially, okay, I'm going to scroll down here. The initial attempt in fireworks was this little teardrop and some shapes that they manipulated by making some shapes and changing the anchor points and their location and distorting that. Then they went ahead and worked on the shapes a bit more and then filling it with a bit of a pattern, which was interesting. They have enough of an outline here that it makes that area pop out a little bit. Don't make your outlines, if you use outlines, be mindful. Don't give it a hairline outline. It's either part of the design or not. Other variations, well, several of them. What if we put it in a shape and had variations on the background with that? Another variation, and finally this variation. Now those were subtle differences, but it may make all the difference in the world as far as your final design. Okay, this could go a lot further, changing up a number of things, cleaning up some of the outer edges. We can start with a little bit better of a shape, but this is the idea of it. Refining it and cleaning it up. This is kind of in the middle stages, believe it or not. It's nicely done, but it's kind of in the middle stages and could stand a little bit of cleanup. Other students that have worked on some things, oh, I'm going to save the best for last. This one with the farmer's market started off, well, we want the sunshine, right? But the problem is there's a lot going on here. I advise that when we're doing an icon or a logo or a symbol design of some sort, don't try to do too much. In other words, we've got an awful lot going on here, and take a look at not only this design overall, but next to it, the little thumbnail sketch size. Okay, what size are we going to do an icon? It might be really small, and that does not translate very well in this area. Okay, in fact, if I were to zoom in on something like, oh, this tractor, okay, this in and of itself, the zoomed in portion, that could be the icon all by itself. Or what if I were to hover over some of these nice rows of corn? This right here, in and of itself, would be enough detail for an icon just right there by itself. Okay, I liked the concepts, but they're trying to do too much, and the detail is just way too small. Think about it this way. It needs to work like a billboard size, something printed on paper, and it needs to work as a little logo on a business card or in the corner of a website. Okay, this would be too much. All right, another variation. Well, okay, we're getting there. The details are a little bit bigger, but again, I love the corn. But here we go. If we need some detail, this right here, just the close-up, that could be an icon or a concept for an icon in and of itself. Way too busy. Okay, so then another variation. We like the corn, we like the sunshine, and here we go. Trying to do the corn, dividing it into two spaces, the sunshine, the corn. I like the concept very well, and even these other colors, but again, a little bit too busy. And this is really, again, in the interim stages. Some of this hand-drawn kinds of details, now those are okay, but it depends on, you know, your drawing skills. You really want to probably do something like this in vector art and some shapes and I'll probably do a demonstration of making an icon with the concept of corn in the long run. So getting there, and we're not doing too much, we're doing two things, which we can divide the space into two, but it really is divided, and there needs to be something of a crossover between the two. All right, here is what one of the ones that the student ended up with. The sunshine, the full sun, it was based on one of their other sketches, and love the outline. It's bold, it radiates from the center. It's a lot more cohesive. It could use just a tiny bit of cleanup in its direction, but the color and the outlines, they're bold enough that it translates very well as a smaller icon, and we're not trying to do too much, and it's not smack right dab in the center, which is kind of nice here. The sunshine, and here's the earth below. Okay. Another concept that a student worked through. Okay, they liked shapes of some fish and sea type of animals, and so they took an outline and filled it with some things. Well, some variations. Now, you might think that variations like this are very, very subtle. Like, we can actually appreciate that, because how can you get the best outcome unless you try a few different things, okay? And then ultimately this one is a little bit brighter, and you can see the outline of this a little bit better. But this is a very nice icon as well. It's simple in nature, and in fact this circular area, it almost looks like we're looking up through the water at it, so it looks like the sun above and we're inside of the sea, so it works and translates very well. Oh, I saved the best for last. I had a student that just loved this program. He's gone on to being an illustrator and doing some game piece type of artwork, and simple shapes to start with, and then we manipulate them in fireworks, those initial shapes, with pushing and pulling some of the anchor points around, you know, when we had some of the smudge and things like that, those tools that we pull things in and out, they can manipulate things very nicely. Notice we've got the two eyes here. All right, they started and did one eye and then duplicated both of those things. So we don't have to reinvent each and every eye or each and every thing, okay? So they took things a lot further and did a series of animals. And so these shapes have a gradient, and you can figure out how to add a gradient in here. And then their outlines were very soft edges and things like that. You might try a few things. So these are basically just shapes, and the way that they use the softness of the edges and things like that, and it works very well, and they were very careful about the colorization that they chose. Okay, another one, couple of them. Beautiful work, a whole series of it. This can work quite well. Last but not least, okay, the little bear here. And you guys can do quite nicely in trying some different things out.